Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm doing another week reading vlog, but this one it will be a little bit more of a twist because I want to do a video where I'm getting to read books out of my comfort zone, so books I wouldn't really read before. And I've been wanting to start really strong with Red Rising, which is a sci-fi book. So when I say out of my comfort zone, I really mean like this is it. Because usually what I would gravitate more towards would be romance books, thrillers, fantasy. Those would be the three that I would normally reach for, and this one, I mean, I've been hearing nothing but good things about this book, so I'm hoping it'll be easy to read. I know some fantasy books can be a bit more difficult to read because there's a whole lot of world building happening, but this is the one that I've been wanting to start with for a good while. Okay, day two, I wanted to come up here and just give a little update. So I'm currently on page 130 and I'm liking it so far. I feel like it's been kind of, I don't want to say slow, but there has been things happening, and there was a moment where I kind of got very heartbroken. I'm really liking Pierce Brown's writing style. I think it's like very descriptive, but it's just like the way that he writes things, it's just very coherent, very easy flowing. Especially for a sci-fi book, I thought it would be very difficult to comprehend and a lot of new terms and that kind of thing, but surprisingly it's not too bad. And this is coming from a person who does not read sci-fi, and currently it's definitely giving me Hunger Game vibes. So if you liked Hunger Games, you might like this as well. It's not too similar to the point where you're like thinking, oh, this is just like full-on copying, but it has that vibe. And also it kind of gives me the whole Harry Potter vibe and Divergent vibe. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick update before I fall asleep because it's like nearly 1:30 in the morning and I don't want to wake up my neighbors. But I'm only 200 pages into the book, so I've read like 70 pages today, and with every chapter this book reminds me more and more of Hunger Games, and I'm getting attached to the characters. At the moment I'm going between 4.25 stars and 4.5 stars. Yeah, but I'm really liking it, especially for a sci-fi. It's written really beautifully. At parts I'm still very confused, kind of like it's not the easiest to understand, and by no means am I saying that it's like super hard to get it, like it's not. But yeah, that's my little update for today, and hopefully I'll be finished the book tomorrow because I have about 180 pages to read, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right, so I just have finished Red Rising. Surprisingly, I actually enjoyed it way more than I would have anticipated. Like, I just didn't think that I'd like it as much. It definitely gives off Hunger Game vibes, like 100%. It's like midnight, so I'll try to be quiet. You know, this was a bit of an emotional book. Like, there are multiple times like characters died, and it was like characters that I was kind of rooting for. I liked it a good bit in the book. Surprisingly, like the writing style was like very unique, and there's a lot that happens in the book. Like, I'm not even kidding, like there's a lot. I did get lost somewhere in the middle, just, I don't know, I got lost basically. But yeah, I feel like it's a 4.25 star book. I'm excited to see what the series kind of goes down the line. Yeah, so I actually did enjoy that. I'm actually not sure what book I'm going to be starting. Like, it's midnight now. I'm not going to be starting any book now, but what I will do is I will try to look up any Kindle books, because I don't think I have any books to kind of like get me out of my comfort zone on my shelf. So I think I have some probably on my Kindle. I'll try to look up a book for that, and yeah, I probably will let you guys know tomorrow what book I chose to read. Hey guys, I thought I'd pop up and do an update. So I started reading Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. I've never read anything by the author, and I've always been just so curious, but I've heard that like he writes super gory kind of horror books, and they're definitely way out of my comfort zone. But yeah, this is the book that I'm going with for my second book. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. So I'm only on page 83, and at the minute, like, I cannot put the book down. Like, the very beginning of it, I was absolutely shocked just how descriptive and disturbing is definitely the word I will use. The book is, like, with every chapter I feel like it just keeps getting crazier and crazier, but I'm kind of enjoying it. Kind of felt like I had to take breaks every so often because like I was just so shocked. Alright, I thought I'd do a quick update. I've read about 100 pages since my last update, and I just want to say it is quite disturbing. Like, the way that Stephen King, you know, the way that his brain works, to kind of see kind of the way that his brain works in the mind of a serial killer, which is just absolutely mind-blowing because it just seems so realistic. Kind of hard to get through some moments, and I keep picking up the book and putting it away, and I keep picking up the book and putting it away, picking it up and putting it away, back and forth. It's just not something that I can just sit and read it in one sitting. It's just not, I don't want to say my cup of tea, but it's just a bit more difficult to kind of get through. And you find out who's behind the Mr. Mercedes, I think within like 25% of the book or something like that. Not from the very beginning, but close enough, and you can kind of see both storylines of the detective and of the serial killer, and it's kind of like very interesting to kind of nitpick at both sides. It's not easy to get through in one sitting. So with that being said, I'm changing things around. Instead of this being my read in a week with me, I'm going to read 3 books out of my comfort zone because it's taken me quite a while to get through this one, and I still want to have another one to kind of fit into this video, so that's what I'm going to do anyways. I just finished Mr. Mercedes, and I seriously need to talk about it. It was very disturbing. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot, because like I'm kind of starting to get a bit more intrigued into the horror books and the horror genre. It's like, you know, him writing something that's kind of gory, that's something awful, and then he takes it an extra inch, an extra mile, and brings it up from a level of disturbing here to all the way up here. And this was supposed to be more along the lines of thriller vibes. Like, the writing style was impeccable because I found myself being really intrigued of how it was going to play out, and you find out who's Mr. Mercedes, like, I think at like 20% of the book. But you get two POVs, so you get Mr. Mercedes and the detectives. The next book that I'm going to read is Goldfinch, but I haven't gone to the library to get it. I will go down probably tomorrow and get it, but this is my little update. Hey guys, so before I forget to give an update, because it's been a while, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I started reading this and I haven't been able to put it down. It's been actually multiple days. I've been reading this and few other books in between, but I'm currently on page 204 and this is 600 plus pages long. So I'm not gonna say like this is bad, it's not bad, but it's literary fiction and it's not my favorite genre personally, but anybody who loves literary fiction, I feel like you'll love this. It has that little bit of creepy feeling, and the story I feel like is good, but there's just so much over description, like there's not enough dialogue, and I feel like that's the whole point of it. The story is slow, nothing is really happening. I love the characters, even though they're a little bit unhinged and you kind of are questioning things a lot, like what's happening. I'm liking it, but I'm reading it super slow. Okay, update time. Don't mind me, I'm in my PJs, wet hair, back from my shower, but I wanted to check in because I'm currently on page 42 and I literally didn't know how to put the book down yesterday because I was reading up until midnight. I didn't know how to put the book down. I got so invested. Once I got to the half-minute mark, I didn't want to put the book down. And the first half of the book, I couldn't understand why people love this book. I thought this really might not be for me. I was really intrigued, don't get me wrong, really intrigued, but it was just so slow. And now I'm in the second half of the book and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's flying by, but I just got so attached to the characters. Oh my god. And yeah, I'm really loving it now. I can really see the hype. I hate to admit it. And I hate to say it, but I absolutely love the book, and I know the first half of it was super slow. Once you got to the middle, I mean, unless you DNF'd it. And I normally wouldn't reach for literary fiction, and this one was long. I was scared that I wasn't gonna be able to finish this, but I enjoyed the fact that you weren't just following one person, you were kind of following this group of, you know, closely knit group of friends, and you kind of see how they become friends and the things that they go through. And some of this is a little bit unhinged, but it's a beautiful written book. And I feel like there's a whole point of it, the fact that like you're like the reader is being the main character, of the fact that like you're, you know, everything that you went through, and then when it's gone, you're missing it. And I miss that world. I want to go back to that world. Like, I loved reading about them. You know, think back to your college days and everything that you went through, and then you didn't realize that you miss it until it's gone. I feel like that was the whole point of it. So I feel like my rating is 4.5. And yeah, these are all the 3 books I read out of my comfort zone. I mean, I love these books. I genuinely love them. It just made me read them so slowly because like I'm just not used to them. But by far, like, these books will be the books that I will be talking about in the future, thinking about, like, living in my brain rent-free. I felt like this book really was going to put me in a reading slump. You know, the first half of it was kind of really painful to get through, and now that I've finished it, I feel like I'm going to be in a reading slump because it was good. Wow, what a plot twist. Anyways, I need to sit with this for a while. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.